Good morning, class 6. I am Anil Bhagat, your science teacher from Modern International School, Hiswa. Welcome back to our e-learning program. Today in this video lecture, we will discuss about chapter 5, that is separation of substances. In the previous lectures of this chapter, we had discussed that why do we need to separate mixtures and the need of that we are doing this separation of mixtures in our daily day-to-day life, daily activity, day-to-day life, and why do we need to separate them. We had discussed that. Then we are discussing the methods by which we can separate substances from a mixture, like first of all hand picking, then comes the winnowing, then threshing and sieving. Then we discussed sedimentation and decantation. Now today we are going to discuss the next method, that is filtration. Filtration is a method which is used to separate a solid and a liquid, like tea. So tea we can separate from decantation also, but generally we use a strainer to separate tea leaves from the tea, because by the process of decantation, if we try to separate the tea leaves and the tea liquid, so some amount of tea leaves will are present in the tea itself. So we are using here strainer to separate the tea leaves from the tea. So filtration is more useful than the methods of sedimentation and decantation. So now today we will discuss some activity through which we will understand how filtration is take place, and it is very much important for our day-to-day life. So first of all, what we need to do is we have to collect some muddy water from the river or the pond, or if it's not possible, then we can do one thing: take a glass, put some water and put some soil and just mix it. So by doing this we get the muddy water. Now we are going to need to separate it. So the next step is just leave the glass with the muddy water for few minutes. After few minutes you will observe that some of the soil particles will settle down at the bottom. That is the process of sedimentation. And the liquid on the top, that is called supranatant liquid, is a little bit dark or browny. Means some soil particles are still present in that liquid. So now we need to separate that. So now comes the process of decantation. Take another glass and slowly put the upper liquid or that supranatant liquid into the another glass. Now we get a supranatant liquid, or the liquid which contains a very less amount of mud, but it is there. So now what is the next step? Now we are going to use a cloth. So we know how cloths are made. They are made by yarn. That is the process of weaving, remember. So spinning from fiber to yarn, twisting of fiber, yarn, and then two yarns set on each other by the process of weaving, and then we get the fabric. So in between the yarns there are very small holes. These holes only allow liquid to pass through it and don't allow the bigger particles or the soil particles. So by the help of cloth we can separate a whole lot amount of soil particles or mud particles from the water. So we get more cleaner water than the process of decantation. But still there is mud in the water. So now comes a very important thing, that is called a filter paper. It is a type of paper, but it is called filter paper because it is used to filter liquids and to remove the dirt particles from the liquid. So just try to understand here what happened in the filter paper. So suppose this is a filter paper. So we are just folding it like this, and then we are just doing it like this. So this, and then we just take one part and make it like this. See, make it like this. And remember, in the kitchen, when our mom or when our mother used to put kerosene oil into some bottle, so they use a funnel type structure. So in that funnel type structure we put it, and then we pour the liquid which is needed to be filtered. So here this filter paper allow only the liquid to come out into the glass, but the dust particle stay here. So when this part is used, we will separate this part. Now we use this part. The same way, when this part is used, then comes the next part. Again, if it is used, then comes the next part. So that is why before using filter paper, before using a proper filter paper, we fold it and then we make a more fold, because for one filter paper we can use it 3-4 times to filter liquids. So this is the use of filter paper. This filter paper has very small pores, only the molecules or the atoms of liquid is allowed to pass through these pores, not any dust particles. So this is how we separate the dust from the water, and we get almost clean water from this process called filtration. So this process is very helpful at the time of making juice or vegetable juice. We use this process to remove the fruit pulps or vegetable pulps and seed from these juices. Then comes in our home, when we prepare cheese, that is called cottage cheese preparation. What our mothers did, they boiled the milk and they prepared a small amount of lemon. So during the boiling, or as the milk starts boiling, they switch off the gas and then put the lemon inside the milk. What happened? Due to the lemon, the milk particles will separate and the liquids is separate. They separate with each other, and then with the help of cloth we filter the paneer particles or the milk particles from the liquid, and the milk liquid is separated. The use is different, but here the main concentration is to make cottage cheese. So we separate the cheese from the milk liquid by the help of a cloth, and then after some time we get paneer. So this filtration process is very helpful in our day-to-day life also. And this filtration is always comes after sedimentation and decantation, because if we start with filtration, that again the problem is the bigger particles will come and stuck with the filter paper or the strainer and don't allow the liquid to pass through the strainer or the filter paper. So after sedimentation come decantation, and after them comes filtration. So class, I hope you all are able to understand this process called filtration well. See this video again and again. If any problem, ask me. I will help you class. Have a great day. Be safe at home. Thank you.